But now I'm to introduce our next speaker, who's Nick Grakini, and he's the General Manager of Accent Home Care, and as such oversees the delivery of home care packages to the southern and eastern regions. Nick also oversees the delivery of the Accent Home Care social support program to residents of the Knox Council. So we're now talking about support you can get before you actually move into aged care. Nick has worked as an occupational therapist in aged care. He's been an assessor for the Australian Government's Aged Care Assessment Service. He has coordinated the delivery of services as part of the Transition Care Program. He has assessed aged care residential facilities in Victoria as a quality manager, and he has worked as an aged care consultant and has had several other roles in the aged care sector. So Nick, over to you.
Thank you, Ursula, for that introduction there. Look, I'm just going to share my screen with you now. Okay, very good. Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming along today and joining this forum. Some very interesting comments there from Erica there too. And yes, I can totally agree with a lot of those comments about aged care. Have the conversation early, start it early, because before you know it, it could become a little bit too late. So definitely some wise words there. So today I'm going to talk about home care packages. And the things I'm going to cover today is what is a home care package, who qualifies for a home care package, how to be assessed, the waiting period, what are the fees, what services included, the Accent Home Care difference, and also the essential contact details too. And look, as you can see here, we've got an older guy here with a young guy, and they're doing some cooking in the kitchen. And that's what home care packages are about. It's about helping people to do what is important to them in the community. Okay, so what are home care packages? Now, home care packages are for people who've got greater or more complex needs and require ongoing support. So the older person who's been in hospital and have come home after a bit of a heart flood and exactly the same, home care packages aren't necessary for them. It's for people who've got ongoing long-term health concerns, or they're becoming frail. So it's not for people who are going through the transit phase, it's just, not being that well at one point in time and then improving later. And the packages are for people who need more support than the Commonwealth Home Support Program. Now, that used to be the old council services that you may remember, coming around to people's houses and do cleaning. Those services, you don't have a care advisor, you don't have a case manager, anyone there to support you. And with home care packages, you've got this one person that you talk to and discuss your care with as well. The packages are coordinated and funded partially or fully by the Australian government. I'll go into the funding a little bit later, but it is, like with residential aged care, it is funded as well. And the most important thing is that the packages are there to help people maintain their independence. So as the General Manager for Accent Home Care and also working as an occupational therapist, the last thing we want to do is to disempower people and do things for people. We want to do things with people. And if you need a hand, we'll help out. And at the end of the day, as I say to my team, the customer is the boss. The person who receives the package is the boss. And if they need this, we'll help them to achieve that. So it's all about the person receiving the package. So, who qualifies for a package? Well, it's people who need a bit of help to get out of bed. It's people who need a bit of help to walk or go to the toilet or take a shower or bath. Now, the person might be independent with showering, but is there a chance they could get a little bit lightheaded and tumble in the shower? If they could, then a package is a good thing for the person to give them some additional support. Some people, due to the arthritis, can't do up their shoelaces or put their socks on. So a package can help in those areas too, to help people get dressed and ready in the morning. Doing housework, bending down with vacuum cleaning and moving rugs around can be quite painful for some people who've got a lower back pain. So a package can help out there too. People who've got macular degeneration and can't drive anymore, or the person who's a little bit wobbly on their feet and on public transport can't get to the seat fast enough before that bus driver takes off in front of them. that's a package is really good for them too, because it gives them enough time to do what's important with them and help them in the community. We also can provide assistance for people who need help with meals and eating and taking medication. So anyone who struggles in any of those areas could be eligible for a package. And also, some further things to consider when looking for a package, if you're going to be eligible or not, or someone you may know could be eligible. Have they had a recent fall? Have they been to hospital? Is there a change in what the person could do and what they remember? So if the memory is struggling a bit for them, maybe they might need some help in that area too. Sometimes the carers go away. So a lot of the kids these days, we have a lot of customers on home care packages, 80, 90 or 100, and the kids are in their 60s. So sometimes things happen with their children and then they can no longer provide the support to mum or dad. And if that's the case, well, maybe a package can help. Generally, people over 65 is people who are eligible for packages. But keep in mind too, if the person is a First Nations person, they can be 50. And also if they're diagnosed with a medical condition or have reduced mobility, those people can also receive a package. So these are some of the pre-qualifiers if someone's going to look at getting a home care package to consider. So the big thing is how to get assessed for a package. And now Erica did touch on this before and talked about some of the process. Now there are similarities between residential care and home care. My Aged Care is involved. So if the person who is looking for a package has previously been engaged with My Aged Care, it's really good to just give them a phone call and say, look, okay, I have had cleaning my windows done or gutters before, or been part of a social group, and you most likely got me registered for My Aged Care. Can you now assess me or start the process for eligibility for a home care package? But if you've never had any engagement with My Aged Care, there's a very simple 3-step process to go through by going online. Now, the government has done an exceptionally good job of their website these days, and it's all about clicking boxes. Do you need help with cleaning or showering? And you tick a box, and depending on what boxes you tick, can indicate maybe suitability for a package. But of course, if something has radically changed and you need a package sooner than later and you don't have time to do the form, or you can't do the form, we'll pick up the phone and ring My Aged Care on the number there. Now, the good thing with the government is that this phone number is available between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 10 to 2 p.m. on a Saturday. So it is quite amazing that the Australian government is operating outside 9 to 5 and on weekends too. So it's definitely one thing the government's really doing to help support older people stay at home. So what are the levels of care, you might ask? Well, there are 4 levels of care, with level 1 being the basic level of care and level 4 being the most complex. Now, basic level care is just maybe mowing someone's lawn, doing a bit of weeding, and maybe doing the windows or gutters. And that's a basic level of care. And that would be about $9,000 approximately of funding per year that the government provides for that. Regardless of what package the person's on, every person gets a care advisor. So there's always just one person when you ring to speak to. So if you rang Accent Home Care for a package, you'd be assigned a care advisor, and there'll be the one person you speak to regardless on the level of package you've got. Level 2 is really the mid-range package that the majority of people are on. And this is a great package for people who might need some cleaning in the house. They might need 1 or 2 showers per week and a few meals in addition to the gardening. Now, the packages are basically mix and match. So you can pick bits and pieces, whatever you need, as long as it fits in within the annual budget of the package. The person's eligible for that too. And level 3 and 4 are the high level packages. Now, level 3 might be someone who needs podiatry in addition to that, might need 3 showers per week, and a level 4 might be someone who needs full assistance to get out of a chair and into bed. And those packages go up to quite a lot, to $52,000. Now, the other thing the government does do as well, if someone has got dementia, the government roughly provides another 10% funding on any of those 4-level packages for that person. So they realise someone might have dementia, might have greater needs, and they provide some additional assistance for those people too. Now the fees, you're probably quite keen about. So I covered what the government provides. Let's talk about the fees. Now, the government states that home care package providers, and there are a lot of them in Victoria and Australia, they can charge what they call a basic daily fee. It's a fee roughly about 70.5% of the age pension that providers can charge. Now, as I said, I've worked as an assessor for the government, and I've realised people get bamboozled with the fees, and people will often defer starting up a home care package because they get a bit lost in the costs of packages. So we don't charge a basic daily fee at all. So there's no fee for the person to join the package of Accent Home Care. There is a fee called an income tested fee, and this is a bit like what Eric was talking before about additional fees based on income. If someone has got an income above the full standard pension, and that's basically an income above $28,048, if someone's got an income above that per annum, they're asked to contribute to the package. So what the government does is they reduce the amount of money they put into the package, and they provide that to Accent Home Care, one of the providers, and then they ask the customer to top that up. So it's a bit like a seesaw effect. The more money you got, the less money the government puts in, but either which way, the package needs to be provided at the value that the government stipulates it at. So if we go to a level 1, if it's $9,000 there, and if someone's got an income above the $28,000 and $28,048, the government might put in $7,000 and the consumer may put in $2,000 per year. But either which way, the packages can still be provided, and the government does have a ceiling cap in regards to a lifetime cap for what people can contribute into packages, and that's roughly around 68,000. So look, I won't go into great details about that because that does change quite often. But just to keep in mind, if you are on a full pension, or if the person who are interested in the package is on a full pension, and if they've got an income under that $28,000, they won't need to contribute. So therefore, that means a person can join a package with Accent Home Care, for example, and not pay for the package at all, and it's funded totally by the government. So look, what can you get in a package? Now, as I mentioned before, for the high-level packages, a lot of people use things like the podiatry and physiotherapy and community nursing, occupational therapy. So they're great things on level 3 and 4 to incorporate in the package. And the green tiles down the bottom of the screen are some of the things that most people would normally get with all the packages, such as cleaning and gardening. We help people to go to the shops. So quite often those shopping bags can be a bit heavy, and our carers can help the consumer on the home care package carry these bags for them, so they can pick up the consumer from the house, take them to the shops, help them with the groceries, and come back again. So if the consumer feels a little bit dizzy or tired, we can, the staff member can stop with them at that time as well. The most important thing is that the idea of these packages here is to keep people living at home for as long as possible. They're there to reduce the risks of people falling by putting in extra supports, and to keep people and avoid them from going to hospital if unnecessary. So with the packages too, what we do provide at Accent Home Care is that, and with most package providers too, we provide a statement every month to show what money's gone into the package and what the consumer spent for it. We also show our costs as well. So we provide a care advisor to support the consumer, and we pay all the bills on behalf of the consumer too, with the government funding as well. And that's our job to do that as a package provider. We make sure that all the government requirements are in place for all the people who provide the service, that they've got the right police checks and the right insurances as well, to make sure that the consumer is receiving a safe product. And we operate this service 7 days per week. The packages are provided. Our office hours are between 9 to 5, but home care packages and the services which are delivered can be offered 7 days per week, and also in and outside of business hours too. So it's whatever is needed to keep the person safe at home. So now, it's probably saying too good to be true at this stage, and there is a little bit of caveat here. There is a bit of a waiting time for people with packages. So if you're approved, and if the person who's applied for the approved through My Aged Care is approved for level 1, they may need to wait 3 to 6 months until they can start the package. So there's a waiting period for that. If it's a level 4, 2, or 3, there could be a 12-month plus waiting period for it. So some people waited 18 months to get the package started. Now, as Erica said, it's really important to have that conversation early so you don't get to really critical time of needing this service and you have to wait as well. So it's really, really critical. But keep in mind too, if the person has urgent circumstances while they need the package, it can be approved high priority and the person can get it sooner. The packages are allocated based on the approval date and the priority level. So if you're high priority level and you've been waiting a long time, you probably get that package maybe a little bit sooner than 12 months if you're a level 4 person, but it really depends. The way the government works is that they say the person's approved, and then you get another letter down. You get one letter saying you approved a package, and then another letter saying you have been assigned a package. And when you're assigned a package, that's when you can actually officially commence the package. Now, the government does help out a bit in the sense that, waiting 12 months is a long time for a level 4. So they have what they call an interim package. So even though the person might be assessed and eligible for level 4, the government might start them off on a level 2 package earlier, just to save them some time. And then eventually when the level 4 package is available, they'll give them that level 4 package. Same sort of thing too, if the person's on a level 2 package, they might say, look, instead of you waiting 6 months for a level 2 package to come up, we'll start you on level 1 in 3 months. So it's something better than nothing, and they start the package early. So it's a bit of initiative the government's done to stop the wait. Keep in mind, if the government had a whole lot of level 4 packages around $52,000, it's a bit cheaper for them to provide some of the lower packages to everyone than just provide one high level package to one person. So everybody gets a little bit of the pie at the time. So as we mentioned, there are quite a few home care package providers, and Accent Care is one of them. As Erica says, I think she said there's about 600 in Victoria of residential aged care facilities. So it's a bit similar of home care packages. So a lot of them are similar and they are set up to provide similar services, but they all are slightly a little bit different. Now, of Accent Care, we operate in areas everywhere from St Kilda and a bit higher than that, down to Bayswater and Frankston. So we've got quite a large catchment area too. We have a lot of consumers in Lilydale, and a lot of other companies won't accept people in Lilydale because they think it's too far out, but we've got a few people there as well. And Accent Home Care, we don't have a travel fee to come to the home. So some providers do charge a cost to get to the front door. We don't have that. We're locally based in Bayswater, as you most likely are aware too. And we are a community focus, and we engage with TTHA and the TSA as well. So we are linked linked in those bodies as well. We provide a quarterly newsletter and regular newsletters to consumers to show what's happening in the service. And we are not-for-profit aged care provider with over 50 years of experience. So TTHA started back in about 1972. And Accent Home Care, which is a division of TTHA, started in 2007. So we have been around for quite a long time providing services. We have a flat fee of 25%. So whatever the government subsidy amount is, we retain 25% to provide those items I mentioned before, with the care advisor, paying statements, paying all the bills and organising all the contracts with all the services. We specialise in cultural care, and we've got many bilingual staff. So we've got staff who speak Polish and German, and we have a variety of other languages too to help consumers. We have no processing fee for reimbursement. So some people might say, look, I'm going to take mum out to the community, but I know someone, she might need a continence pad. If I buy them, can you reimburse me for that? And what we'll say, yes, we can do that. And you seek approval from the care advisor first, but we won't charge you a 5 or 10% processing fee. Whatever it costs to buy it, you buy it with your own money, we give you that reimbursement back as well. We employ our own staff and provide extensive training to them, especially during the COVID period. We spent a lot of training in regarding use of personal protective equipment, washing hands, and ensuring that Accent Home Care and TTHA stayed COVID-free, and we did do that, and we didn't have any COVID at the facility or in the community with our packages at all. We provide priority entry into our retirement villages and our residential aged facilities and respite permanent care. So if there are vacancies in our residential facility, and Lisa will talk more about this a little bit later, there is opportunities to help people to use those respite facilities. And if we don't have any vacancies at the time, we'll help you find opportunities at other places for respite as well. So the care advisor is there to assist in that area. As I mentioned, we don't charge that basic daily care fee, and only the income tested care fee if the income's over the 28,000. And as I mentioned, the funds from the package can be utilised in so many different ways. So travel, equipment, home modifications, allied health, and many more. If we can justify the funding to be used to help empower the person to stay at home and maintain their independence, we'll be able to achieve that. Of course, we don't use the government funding to keep up with the Joneses. So if the customer says, I want a brand new television because Betty next door's got one, well, good for Betty, but we're not going to buy you one because it's taxpayers' money. But we'll only buy things to help people to stay independent, and if there's a goal associated with it too. And we do care plans in preparation and partnerships. So whatever the consumer wants who starts the package, we are there to help them, and we do that in partnership with them. And we don't have an entry fee or an exit fee. We have a lot of consumers transferred us from other organisations, and what they state is that they have to pay an exit fee to leave, and they're leaving because they're not happy. So my view is, working for the government and doing assessments with these packages, if you're not happy with the service, I'm not going to hold you in the service, and if you need to go, we'll support you to find the provider that you need. We don't have that happen, but that's my philosophy. If you do want to go, we'll help you. So we don't want to hold people down. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see some flyers from us. It just gives you an example of how we present our information with our packages and our levels. If anyone does want information about Accent Home Care, I can provide that to you. And if you just let Ursula know later, I'll put it in the comments there. We can provide some information and send it out to you as well. Now, I've got a little story coming up next from Mary, and this is a government video. It goes for about 50 seconds, so it's not a long time, but it shows about Mary and what it's like for her to have a home care package.
A good place to begin at the beginning. My name is Mary Icky. We landed in 1969 with 13 bags, that trunk, and nothing else, just us. I was diagnosed in January last year with Parkinson's, so you just adjust to that. The care package is assessed on your income. They assess you by levels of your need, and I'm a level 2. It's such a good system. Anything you want to know about what's going on or what is available to you is on my aged care website.
So that's a nice little movie of Mary there and her experience too. And it just goes through how simple it is. So it isn't a complex system, home care. It is a step easier in my eyes. And I've worked in residential care and home care. It's a little bit easier to navigate your way through home care, but when you've got experts like Erica, she definitely does make it easier too. But it is, if you're really on a full pension, there are no costs for it. The only other costs that people do want to have meals in the package, the government says that the consumer needs to pay 30% of the cost of the meal, and that the package pays 70%.